Good morning, student. This is the first part of the chapter Food Security in India, class 9, subject Social Science. Student, our previous chapter was Poverty as Challenge, and if you remember, we made our discussion regarding the various aspects and dimensions of the poverty. For example, lack of food, lack of clothing and shelter, lack of access to safe drinking water and sanitation, no schooling for the children from the family which is considered living below poverty line, large scale illiteracy, unemployment, and various other issues. But in this chapter, we will limit our discussion regarding the issue of food insecurity and how we can ensure that there remains food security. As we discussed in the previous chapter, that poor section of the society is more likely to be or more vulnerable to be food insecure. We will also address in this chapter that if they are more vulnerable to food insecurity, what can be done by the government by remaining more vigilant, by remaining more attentive, and how government can improve their public distribution system to make sure that food security is going to be ensured for all the people of the country. So let us begin our discussion from the very first page, that is page number 42 of your NCERT textbook, student. Our first heading is what is food security? So student, the moment we say that what is food security, immediately what comes in the mind that when there is food available, as it you can say as a 2 square meals of food available, it means in a single day, if both all the time when the food is required to the people it is available, we can say that food security exists for the family and for the people. But it is not the case, student. Let me tell you why. Because it required various other dimension to be added to understand that what food security include. In your book, it has been mentioned that there are three dimensions of the food security, that is availability of food, accessibility of food, and affordability of food. I am repeating again. Number one, availability of food. Number two, accessibility of food. And number three, affordability of food. Let us try to understand one by one what does it means. So what is availability of food? Availability of food, you can say that when there is enough food stuff available within the country, then only it is possible for the people to have their uh, food available to them. Take the example that what availability means over here. Take the example for yourself also, student, that suppose you are living in your house, and suppose in this lockdown situation you are not allowed to go, but there is enough food available in the house, there is enough stock of food available in your kitchen, then you can say that you are food secure, because you are not worried about that whether food is there in the house or not. Similarly, for the country, we can say that food availability means when there is enough production of food is taking place. Number one. If not, then there is previous stock. Previous year stock simply means that every year whatever excess is being produced, our government keep it safe for the period when the food security might be threatened. So there is enough available to the government from the previous stock. And third situation, that if both these are not the case, then third situation is that government of the country can import from the other country where there is surplus production. By any means, if there is no shortage of food, then we can say that food availability has been ensured. Second aspects of food security is that access to the food. Access to the food means, take again your example, that suppose you have enough food available in your house, but somehow your parents have made a lock in the kitchen room. Your kitchen has been locked, and in spite of having all the food available inside the kitchen, you are not finding your access, so you will start feeling bit insecure about the food for yourself or for the other member of the family. So that is similar case for the country, that in spite of having enough food available within the country, if there exists a situation when people in the country don't find their access to the food, they might be food insecure. Say, find a condition that enough food is available in the country, but a person is living in remote area, and somehow by uh, somehow any odd time when he comes to know that a particular food article is not available, and there is no shop near to his house, there is no other means for him to go to to have the access of the food, then you can say that accessibility of the food stuff is questionable. Third comes our affordability. Affordability means our individual capacity to buy safe, nutritious, and sufficient food for our family. It depends. It hardly matters what is available within the country. It hardly matters what is accessibility. Maybe you are a person living in urban area where there are shops open, there are no shortage of food grains, there is plenty of shop available next to your house, but if your pocket don't allow you, you might be still feeling insecure about the food. So we can finalize that food security has three dimensions. Availability of food. Availability means there is enough food available through the production within the country. If not good enough production, then the stocks from the previous year. If that is also not the case, then imports from the other countries. Then accessibility means that every person has access to the food articles, so that the person will feel, or person can feel food secure. And third is affordability, means the person's capacity to buy the food at any price of the nutritious quantity, nutritious, safe, and sufficient amount. That is how we could understand. So your book has defined food security like food security in country when enough food for all and all person have capacity to buy food. Two things: when enough food available for everyone, and all these people, all the people or everyone has good capacity to buy the food, along with the third capacity that there is no barrier to the excess of food, then the person can said to be food secure. Now, after having discussed what is food security, let us move to another question: why food security? Why we required? Why is food security? So, we can say we have already discussed that poor section of our society. In the previous chapter, it was discussed that poor section of society is more likely to be more vulnerable to be food insecure because of their inefficiency to purchase food. And basically we can say poor section is a food insecure because of the issue of affordability. Out of the three dimension, affordability is that dimension what you can apply to the poorest section of society. What about other section, those who are capable to purchase food at any set prices? For them there can be also food insecurity if there is no excess, already we have discussed, or if there is not food available in the within the country, maybe for any reason, like there may be shortage of food due to the calamity or due to any disaster. There could be various reasons like flood, like earthquake, uh, tsunami, or you can say that a large scale failure of the crop. Because of all these things, you will find that there is a shortage of food in the country. Because there will be a shortage, initially poor will suffer. Reason: the shortage means simple economic rules, whatever is there in shortage is likely to be getting costlier, because more people are demanding but supply is less. Simple economic rule is whatever is less in supply but more in demand, prices will go up. So who will be suffering initially? Poor section of society. But later on you will find that even rich section will suffer, because if this shortage remains over a large area for a longer period of time, you may find that even the upper section of society will face the food insecurity existing within them and within their family members, or this large scale power shortage of food may be leading to the situation, may be leading all of us, all the people, to the starvation situation. Of starvation when people start dying because of hunger, that we call starvation. And when this starvation extend to the larger area or to the larger number of people, we call it famine. Your book has defined famine in a manner. Let us read what it is. Famine means widespread death, when large scale death do take place due to the starvation and epidemics caused by the forced use of contaminated water and poor quality of decaying food. And it is also mentioned that this will lead to loss of body immunity or the resistance of our body, because of which we easily fall sick, and there are more chances that people may start falling sick and later on losing their life. So famine, I'm repeating again, I'm repeating again, student, that is widespread death due to the starvation and epidemics. When widespread death, large scale death take place due to the starvation and epidemic caused by forced use of contaminated water and poor quality of food, because of which what will happen, people will find that their immunity and their resistance, body resistance power is getting decreased, and they are more likely to fall sick, and maybe they are likely to be dying because of this. The student, before we move ahead with the issue of famine what existed in Bengal in 1947 1943, there are box given on the page number 43. There is a box given in this page in which time to time effort has been made to redefine poverty. Issue of poverty has been defined. Let us read it for ourselves. In the 1970s, food security was understood as, please read it, you read it from the book yourself, availability at all times of adequate supply of basic food stuff. It means at that time it was understood that food security simply means that when food is available at all the times of what basic food stuff. Basic food stuff means wheat, rice, pulses, other grains and cereals, and some other basic food stuff that is required for our that is required for our survival. So that was the definition by the United Nations in early period of 70s. That was 1975 when United Nations made the definition. Later on, our Indian economist who got Nobel Prize in the field of economics in 1998, that was Mr. Dr. Amartya Sen, who added new dimension to poverty, that he said that access to the food stuff by the means of entitlement. He added a word entitlement. Entitlement means right to get the benefit. It means he wanted to say that when people have access as their entitlement or right to get benefit within the country, to have safe, nutritious food available to them by the efforts made by the government, by the efforts of the government to ensure that all the people get the food, then he actually added and enriched the definition of food security. You read it yourself. I'm repeating again. Amar Sen added access of food for the people through the word entitlement. Entitlement, I made clear, right to benefit. By what means that government take responsibility in a country like India, that it is their responsibility to ensure that every person remain food secure. Recently you have seen over the last 45 days when we are in a lockdown situation, many times on our national television our prime minister has to mention that people need not to worry, there is enough food available for all of us, that even when the production won't take place, people will be compelled to live in the lockdown situation, they will continue to get sufficient food for fulfillment of their own need and their family members' need. So that is what Amar Sen meant to say, that people should get the kind of assurance from the government side that enough will be made available, and if availability is going to be questionable, government will make some other means like importing from the other country where there is some surplus production. That is what. Later on in 1995 there was World Food Summit, sorry student, under the Food and Agricultural Organization, which made their effort to redefine food security. Let us read what it is. They said that they have added a further enriched definition. What it is, let me read it for you. It is written over here. It is written here, student, that when food security at the individual level, number one for every person, number two household means the families, third at the regional level in which area of the country, then at the national, and finally at the global level. All these five level: individual level, household level, regional level, national level, and global level. Whenever it exists, when all people at all times have physical access, means they have their own access to the food stuff, and economic access. Economic access, you understand, affordability. It is not required that what amount is available in the market. It is equally required that what we can purchase from the market. Maybe enough food is available next to our house. There is a big showroom, there is a big general store where there is no shortage of food article, but suppose if enough money is not in my pocket, I will remain food insecure. So what it want to say, that physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet our dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. Whatever required for an individual to remain healthy and active, whatever food stuff is required to the individual, household, regional, national and global level of good quality food, then we can say that food security is ensured. By what means we can say? By this means we can understand that poverty eradication is essential, because ultimately it is the affordability. So poverty eradication is essential to improve access to food. When food security will be not threatened, when we will have the good affordability along with availability and accessibility ensured from the government side by arranging all possible means, as we discussed earlier. Moving to now, that in country, did we ever face the situation of food insecurity? Yes, student, before India attained independence, there was famine of Bengal. We will read on the page number 43. Please move to this page. You will read that there was a famine of Bengal in the 1947. This was such a huge famine, student, that 3 million people, 30 lakh people have lost their debt. It was in 1947, I'm sorry. And what happened, that after this famine, it was understood that there is a need to ensure a mechanism that by any means country remain food secure. We can ensure that our large population do not find any aspects, any dimension of food security falling short, be it availability of food, be it accessibility of food, as well as affordability of food for all the people at all the times. So that is why there is a box on this page number 43. Do you know that who were affected by most in the famine? It is written, you can understand, landless laborer in the agricultural field, then fishermen, transport workers and other casual laborers are mostly affected, because we have discussed that whenever the food shortage start taking place, prices start rising. When prices start rising, rich as usually don't get affected, because rich have the capacity to purchase food stuff even at higher prices. Poor may be struggling to do that. To help you understand, there is a table 4.1 in which we have tried to understand that how the situation of production of rice is the main crop of the Bengal, in the province of Bengal, whether it was good or not. So let us move to our next portion. You have been data provided from the year 1938 to 1943. Production are given in the unit of lakh tons. Import and export both are mentioned, and what was the total availability for the people of the country, or you can say people of the Bengal. You will find in 1938 the production was 85 lakh ton, Nothing was imported and nothing was exported. So 85 lakh ton was available. In 39 you could find that production got decreased by 79 to 79, and it was required to have further import, means there was a shortage of food, so we were compelled to import from outside, and availability was ensured to 79 plus 4, that is 83 lakh ton. Next year 1940 student, we have data showing 82 lakh production, which again got increased. So in spite of this increase, there was still import required of 3 lakh ton. That was the year when the total availability of rice was 85 lakh ton. In 1941, there was a sharp decline, that was 62 lakh ton was the production, and we were supposed to import 2 lakh ton. Maybe there could be sufficient stock from the previous year, that's why import was not as large as could be expected compared to the previous year. So you can say that total availability from this year was 70 lakh ton. In 1942, you will find that there was actually the first time when case was of export, we could produce such a good amount that import was not required, rather we could export as we had the surplus amount. So 92 lakh ton was the availability, 93 minus 1 equal to 92, and in the last year production, our import was 76 lakh ton, so we were again supposed to be making import of 3 lakh ton. Over the study of this data, we can find that most of the cases our production remained in the shortfall and we were supposed to make the import. Student, based on this, we have few questions what are being asked to us, that is expected from you. Go through these questions. We have discussed also, there are some families which are shown over here in a malnutritious state. You can say the poverty is easily visible with their malnourished body. Their skeleton is visible through this image. You can easily understand that whenever there is a large scale starvation or famine do take place, what would be or what could be the situation of the masses. You read it yourself, you will find, you will understand what the concept is. Student, now having understood this, there is a suggested activity on page number 44. You are being asked questions which are based on picture 4.1 and some table shown over here. Based on this, we can say that after Bengal famine, it was not only Bengal, there in Odisha there was area like Kalahandi and Kashipur. Also there was famine like condition, people had to lose their life due to the starvation. Many other places are being discussed in this paragraph. You read it yourself and you will find that there was a need which was felt by the people, that effort should be made by the government to ensure that people should not lose their life, people should not become victim of malnutrition due to the unavailability or poor access of the food, or maybe even because of their affordability when it is questionable. So government has the responsibility. If food is available, food is not affordable by the poor, then government has the responsibility to make sure that food is going to be ensured for the families of the poor. We will start with the next topic, that is who are food insecure, from page number 44 in our next video content. Thank you, student.